everybody goes under it in the end. That's a good result for the Australians, unfortunate for the New Zealanders. There is a bit of a breeze here this morning at the fields, pushing probably away from the camera across field mostly. It's not really up and down. It's also a bit swirly, so we'll see.
My grass test is inconclusive as Hannah looks for that undercut. Lely is a workhorse out there. Centers to O'Hagan. Gets it straight back. Oh, but it's a great D by Josh Driscoll.
Yeah, Driscoll again blocking Lely's little up the line movement. It's 2 blocks from Driscoll in pretty much the same space there, so it's a nice move from him. Oh, the insides are working nicely for the New Zealanders. So they're on the far sideline. Number 34, Sider gets it off. It's down the middle of the field for the New Zealanders. They're working it up on their reverse break. You think he's looking on the inside. Oh, a bit too much contact there on the mark, potentially. O'Hagan. Just a little bit of a friendly discussion. That's coming in on 6. Not sure his dump. High stall. Oh, it just goes past the outstretched hands of McEwen.
Gets it out to Lely.
Another nice up the line pass there.
O'Hagan puts it up high. Nick Lely underneath it. It's just floated over the side. He's got it on the second attempt. The Australian boys rush the field. It's 1 apiece here in Balmain.
Oh, well, that was exciting, Gussie. This
Sure
wind is unpredictable, I'll tell you what.
Unpredictable. It's an excitement factory out there.
Now, for folks just tuning in, this will be the first of, well, we've got just a slew of games to bring you today.
An absolute slew, yeah. Slew's the right word.
Slew is the collective noun for many frisbee games. Both the Australian men and women under 18 teams will be playing 3 games over this weekend to determine the winner of the Trans-Tasman tests. There'll also be some games in between with the Australia A squads. So the Australia A squads are a new addition to kind of bring a few more of the juniors along for the ride in terms of development. So they'll be playing games in between, which is quite exciting, I think, Gussie.
It sure is. It's great to see for Australian Ultimate, for these young guys, to be able to go back to school after the school holidays and have a video of themselves playing for Australia or New Zealand.
And unfortunately have our voices over the top of it as New Zealand gets their second chances at offence. It's Whitlock with the disc. A little bit of confusion in the handler sets, but well managed. Oh, and there's a lot of deep players.
So Graham in pursuit, but he won't get there, I don't think.
And New Zealand makes easy work of it in the end. Maybe just a bit of a miscommunication there defensively. It's a lot of space on the break side for number 80. So 2-1, Gussie.
2-1. It's only just beginning.
It's a clean offensive point from New Zealand, which I'll be very happy with.
Capitalised on a bit of a miscommunication there. Paddy Graham was deep there, I think. He's a very big boy, so he did well to get it past him.
And that it may be the strategy early for Australia to see if they can't push a few of these hugs, especially given this unpredictable wind, and trust their boys to get underneath it. But maybe a bit too much space given. So you see Kyle O, head coach of the Thunder Boys, calling the line there. Rob Swan, the assistant, on the other sideline. We've also got Greta Murdoch helping the boys on the sideline.
It's going to be fielded by Keys up to Hodgson in the middle. First cut coming from Nichols for the under. He's got a few options deep and he's going to throw it. Sharp blade. Well D'd by number 9 there for New Zealand.
Yeah, nice little play there.
Josh Driscoll.
Driscoll's getting blocks.
Oh, he's getting blocks all over the place.
So that on the far sideline, nice little dump move there. This goes to 42, Rowan Burns. And this coming now. Still looking upfield, looks to his dump now. Nice little movement there, 49 gets it off. Still stuck on this sideline. Pump fakes it, he's got no dump. 8 goes to position. A nice little move. Bit of an impetuous throw potentially on the break side. It is always exciting when you get that disc on the break and you're just so open.
You got it in flow on the break side.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to throw it, even though there's no one there. Just got to indicate to everybody.
Keys is picking it up. The Thunder Boys are coming out in a diagonal setup. Hodgson at the front. Looking to get it in the middle. Bit of a miscommunication, and New Zealand are going to have a crack at offense.
Yeah, the thrower thought the play was still on, and I think Julio had probably already pulled out of it. So it's Nauman on the sideline. Another inside pass. They're loving it. It's floaty. And number 22 is calling a foul.
I think it's a strip call, potentially.
Yeah, you may have noticed there, amongst the other yellow shirts, there are a few game advisors here. Yeah, it certainly looked like number 22 had begun the act of catching. But I think they've agreed that he had not completed the act of catching. And as a result, Australia gets a disc.
Watch them bring it in. Oh, unlucky there. Looking to centre it to Keys. New Zealand on the doorstep.
New Zealand in no hurry to bring it in. As Whitlock saunters to the disc. Will it be another one of those insides? Yes, it will. And a nice little high flick there for New Zealand. Capitalises on Australian errors, and that puts them up a break.
Yep. Bit of difficulty in that far right corner. I think that's probably, it's not the strongest wind, but if there is a wind, that's going to be the hardest place to throw it from.
Yeah, and it's interesting the Australian under-18s are playing this diag stack from these corners. I've certainly seen a lot more Australian teams playing this kind of set. Probably the one thing I'd say about this stack is it's a little bit deeper than what you might expect a diag stack to be, Gussie. You'd normally expect the 1 and 2, those players closest to the corner, to be a little bit closer, but they're giving themselves a bit more space, potentially to even open up some deep shots straight off the bat.
No doubt. Australia are going to have an offensive point. We've got Boyle on the line, Prendergast, Keys, number 55, of Lachlan Eichner, Alan Kidd, Anto Hagen, and of course, number 18, who unfortunately don't have written down here on our little sheet. Tommy Boyle, interesting story, forgot his cleats this morning.
Yeah, and it was just so excited about being captain of Australia.
That's right.
Let's get this done now!
But he's got him on now, that's what matters.
A bit of a dropped pull there. New Zealand.
That is a bit of a drop pull.
New Zealand with the opportunity to punch it in here.
Yeah, here we go.
82, Luca Mercer is walking to the disc. It's well covered.
Yeah, smart move from the mark there to shut off that first option. Unlucky there for Keys. Ended up isolated in that front corner, and yeah, it's unfortunate there for the Australian team. Oh well, the you know, that's kind of an unavoidable part of a game, you know.
We've all dropped pulls.
We have all dropped pulls.
In high stakes games, I've dropped pulls. So John O'Keefe shouldn't worry about it too much as Australia call a timeout. No, it's not on tape, Mike.
Yeah. I think we'll be able to forgive that one. So New Zealand now, with a mistake from Australia, they capitalise. They're up 4-1.
Yeah, that happened pretty quickly, didn't it?
It's definitely a bit of a study of contrast here. Obviously, we are bringing you this game from Sydney, Australia, so maybe understandable that Australia's got a bit more infrastructure around the team, bit of a larger, coaching staff, more players, just a bit more everything really. New Zealand, by contrast, even in the warm-ups earlier, Gussie, you would have noticed.
I did.
It was
Very
a contrast. They, talking about what their structures are going to be, a light warm-up, also a lot of self-managed time. Just go out, throw, do what you need to do to get ready. The Australians, by contrast, a real study in discipline. A lot of footwork drills, a lot of movement, a lot of speed, a lot of disc in hand.
A big team warmer.
Team.
All 30 of the Thunder Boys and the Australia A squad were participating in that warm-up. And on the sideline as well. That's why you're getting so much noise from the Australian team.
But the system's working for New Zealand at the moment. That's all you can say.
Sure is. They don't need any local knowledge, clearly, to start this game strong.
Not at all. So thanks to New Zealand Ultimate and to Ultimate Australia for putting these together and also bringing you the stream today. We hope you enjoy if you're watching it live or watching it back on replay. As the Australians get ready for another offensive point, their third in a row.
So we have talked about this breeze a little bit, Max. It's picking up a touch. Paper's gone everywhere. Grass test is telling us that the wind is going from the camera to the opposite side of the field. A little bit left-right, but not heaps.
Yeah. Oh yeah, behind the magician's curtain.
Alan Kidd has the disc. He's got Paddy Graham streaking deep. He's going to look it off and hit Hodgson underneath, who is going to hit Paddy Graham. The Pat Tower, unfortunately, a bit of a difficult read. Maybe just out the back there as well. Yeah,
the Aussie boys are throwing some pretty zippy shapes to the end zone, probably in an attempt to stop it getting caught by the wind, but there's still those passes are getting pushed and probably a little deeper than they're expecting at the moment. Seen a couple of turns in that kind of area. So New Zealand's walking it up to the front of the end zone line. First move, a little bit of a pick creator, but definitely isolates number 8, Whitlock, in that break space. Looking for a dump move. Nice defense there, but Whitlock gets the disc back. There's a bit of a gust now. Oh, but it's picked up in the stack by New Zealand. They see a deep shot and it's up.
It's floaty.
There'll be a few players
Paddy
under
Graham
this
is
one.
underneath it for Australia. Oh, but he's been beaten to it.
Really
so
nice to
their offense again. Paddy Graham streaking deep. He's going from end zone to end zone, this boy. He's got steps as well, but he's been looked off by Everest, who's hitting Kidd on the underneath. Pat Graham, an absolute workhorse out there. He's getting it under. Looking break side. Fortunately, it doesn't come off.
Yeah, just a little much. As we said, that's a throw in directly into the wind there. And,
had a few options there on the break side, though. Maybe could have gotten a bit of flow if that pass had come off. But it wasn't to be. New Zealand to pick up the disc. Number 49, Campbell Newman.
No relation. Upper line pass, but as they say in the business, arguably never in.
Everett's going to pick up the disc.
It's
a dump.
It's a Schmick mark there.
Off. Graham on the around. Oh, gets up big.
The big boys and sells number 8 on a fake.
Hodgson on the doorstep here. Oh, great hand block.
That is
the
an
mark.
awesome block. That's a point-saving block there from the New Zealanders. That's number
That's
22.
Rolf, I believe, a returner for New Zealand.
So New Zealand gets another chance in that corner. 66 putting a great mark on for Australia, but gets off a nice break. Oh, and it's up.
It's up to a Westpac Graham. Nowhere to be seen, but Australia get the block anyway. It's Everest to pick up the disc.
About six players under that one.
It's Hodgson to pick up the disc. Initiating move from Tommy Butler doesn't come off.
Oh, ends up with a nice little reset, or a nice little pressure valve release. Unfortunate there.
Miscue there from Hodgson.
Yeah. Had a couple of high stall situations and his dumps were not particularly forthcoming. So nice little battle here going on between Linklater and number 66.
It's up again. Oh, has he caught that?
There's discussion about it, but it looks like it was out.
I'd given up on that disc, but Rolf hadn't. Been a few miscues in this point, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking for the similar shots each time. Looks more like execution than structural issues at the moment. As the diag
Tommy Butler
comes
hitting it up the
nicely
line.
off.
Oh, it's a great grab from Butler. Looks to the immediate centering pass to Hodgson.
Just unfortunate there that Man Mountain couldn't come down with it.
Pat Graham is quickly becoming this commentator's favourite player out there on the field.
So New Zealand, another opportunity. Easy dish off. Comes under for number 20. And they're now on the commentary booth sideline. Working it up the open side, sees a deep shot, hits it on a break, and that will play nicely.
Unfortunately there for the Australians, they had a few opportunities. New Zealand persevering.
Yeah, it's a beautiful throw from Whitlock, really using his long frame to pivot around Graham, who's not an easy man to pivot around.
He is not.
So, Australia digging themselves a bit of a hole.
It has blown out to 5-1.
And I mean, there were some nice defensive plays here as we just watch it again on replay. Just hits that beautiful backhand at weights.
Great throw, isn't it?
Could have easily been caught by both receivers there.
Very different approaches to these line calls as well, Max. Australia have the entire team out there. New Zealand, just the 7 players and the coach.
Yeah, very true. Now, I mean, I'm on record on a few streams before as being not a massive fan of the full team kneel. Gus, it's not my style personally.
Not your style.
No, but there is a value, especially with these younger players developing. Hearing more line calls, you get a bit of experience in. It can really help you, and it's nice to have the support of the boys or the girls.
It sure is. It sure is nice to have the support of the boys or the girls.
So Australia back out on offense, moving left to right on your screen.
Send us to Tom Boyle. It's a bit of a zone look here from New Zealand. Ooh.
Oh, they
Lely
put
with a
both
good
captains
grab.
on.
Nick Lely hits a beautiful upline pass to Nichols. On the doorstep here. Alan King. Sorry, that's Eichner. Lachlan Eichner scores the goal. Australians rush to the field, and that's 5-2.
Easy as you like, Gussie.
We've got a game on our hands. We've got a series on our hands, Max. Plenty of frisbee still to come.
Very true. It will never once and for all be decided who has won the frisbee. That's a nice goal there. New Zealand mixes it up a little bit with a zone, and Australia makes quick work of it.
Bit of a zone look from New Zealand, Max. Seem to quickly torn to shreds there by the Australian offense.
Yeah.
Lots of quick movement.
Certainly, and I mean, you know as well as anybody, Gussie, that those penetrating passes, especially that one up the sideline, once that's done, it's pretty much lights out for a zone unless they can hustle upfield. So. Just a bit of some technical adjustments happening on the stream.
The angle of Max's microphone, not quite where we wanted it to be.
Incorrect.
I'm sure you noticed at home.
Alrighty, so it'll be the New Zealanders now. And I'm sure the Aussies will be wanting to generate a little bit of pressure here. Need to start clawing them back at this point in the game. We're playing to 80 minutes, folks. Games to 15.
Gonna make a bold prediction, Max. I think we're gonna see some zone here.
Oh, okay. Well, the pull is out.
Okay. It's not looking great for me. Looking like a bit of a match defense look here.
Yeah, not ideal, Gussie. Also not ideal, a pull going out when you need one in.
You really want it in, don't you?
So here they go. It's number 82, Mercer with the disc. Oh, wow. Hits the Australian defender's face marking.
Bang with the run through D, but there's a foul called there by Whitlock.
Yeah.
Be a bit of discussion. Fang really did.
Gave it a whack, hey?
Put on the wheels as well, didn't he?
As we watch it again,
Here
it comes on replay. It's a tough one to see on the replay. There certainly is a little bit of resistance in the hand. You can see that as the D is made. But it'll be up to the players on the field to decide whether, again, the catch was just starting or whether it was just finishing.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a line ball. You have to say on balance that the D looks like it's in progress before the catch is completed.
It does look like contact is made before the catch, but the resolution is an uncontested foul, I believe. Whitlock has the disc.
And the power of that defense looks like they've bent the disc in half.
He did give it a whack, didn't he?
Yeah. Using a fresh new Trans-Tasman disc, which are purchasable for only $20. So help support the boys and girls. And we're back. There's a pick called. And disc is back in. Oh, a little bit of uncertainty there, yep.
Potential violation there, Max.
Certainly. The big V's. And here we go. New Zealand taps it back in. Hits a nice around. Again, he's got it in that inside grip. Oh! Straight over the commentary booth.
I thought I was on there, Max, with a crowd pleaser, but it's gone straight over my head. Pat Graham whacked that with some real force. Probably could have caught it.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly the enthusiasm. They want to D it. They don't want to catch it.
The sideline did want to catch, did they?
They want to D it.
Hagen's picking up the disc on the sideline.
Right in front of the commentary booth.
Kid making the first move, but he swings it across. That is a great look over to Jono Jones. Pendergrast got a few options. Hits Feng. Dump move. It's a well-worked dump set.
Touched off the hand by number 8.
Jones straight back to Feng. Hits Kidd. Oh, huge layer there from Kidd. The New Zealanders come away with the D. It's going to be number 8, Nicholas Whitlock, to pick it up.
And again, here they are, New Zealand on this sideline. Got a deep shot coming.
Oh, lovely.
Julio's giving him a bit of space up deep. And these New Zealanders decide to take advantage of it.
Rolf Holsters looks to his dump. Well covered. Paddy G comes through again. What did I tell you, Max?
Very smart. Graham there just baited that a little bit and got the throw off, got the block.
Hagen walking very calmly to the disc. Kidd making the initiating move. Oh, hits Feng on the inside. Is that a break?
It's a rugby catch. That is a break.
5-3.
Both teams had their chances that one, but nicely put in there by the Australians in the end.
exciting point.
Certainly was. From that very first initiating movement, as we watch it again, Fang just rugby catches it.
Sometimes the breadbasket is the way to go, Max.
So
I've
true.
always said that.
2 really nice blocks there from Patrick Graham. And a great point from Fang. They very, very close to a D on the first look, and then eventually ended up with it in the end zone. Now, just to take you really behind the magician's curtain, we can hear our own commentary.
We can.
Yeah, but on about a 1 minute delay.
I think there's actually 2 different delays going on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear myself what I've just said and then what I said a minute ago
Nice.
as well. And it's good stuff.
Yeah. So if you do have any feedback for us, please, you can feel free to tweet at, Mr. Max Halden. And let us know on the stream, and we'll be here all weekend bringing you the this Trans-Tasman test series. So if you want to hear more of something or less of something else, please let us know. And you should be hearing a few voices rotating through on the stream, which looking forward to bringing you all day here, Saturday and Sunday, wherever you are in Australia, New Zealand, and or the world.
Tommy Boyle with the rip of a pull. Nice bit of float. Australians are running hard in pursuit. Now this is a bit of a poachy look, isn't it, Max?
Very much so. And New Zealand's worked it through this one before, but Australians maybe a bit locked into the disc. Lely giving number 20 McCowan a bit of love on the mark.
Goes for the Hail Mary footblock as well there, Lely.
Number 22 Rolf with it. That's a high backhand, a bit floaty.
Oh, bodies underneath it there for the Australians. Lely to pick it up. He's got Hodgson back immediately and gets it again. Lovell looking for that underpass. Not on.
Tries to catch the hat on the way through.
Boiler looking under. Oh, it's a good D there from... Is that the man?
It's number 9.
I think it
Driscoll.
is. Driscoll.
Again, just a block machine.
He's a D machine, that boy.
Looks like they're going to try a horror here in the end zone.
Bit of float, and unfortunately I think the wind just cost the New Zealanders a goal there.
Yeah, you may be right.
In his face, as the New Zealand tent goes flying into the New Zealand girls team. But back to the action on the field. Lovell with the disc. It's a great look. Maybe not. From my angle, it looked absolutely fantastic, but unfortunately I think it just drifted out the sideline there.
Yeah, we've talked about this wind going sort of away to the away sideline. That really just pushed it. Needed to be a lot flatter for that one.
So are they going to set up in this zony poach, do you think, Max?
Looks like they're going to stick to just match for this first move here. And yeah, as the New Zealanders come out in a horror, first one we've seen of the game, to isolate that deep space, which they certainly try and hit.
It's a 3-on-1 situation, 3-on-2 situation.
Oh,
and Driscoll, my boy Driscoll, comes down with it.
Did that happen?
And Driscoll again, that is a great point for Driscoll.
Killing it. Wow. Yeah, as you say, 3-on-1 and really 3-on-2, but
3-on-2.
Huge grab from Driscoll.
Almost 4-on-1 because he had to sky his own teammate there as well.
He really did. And he may have been the shortest person in that pack too. As we see Driscoll's really great block to kick it all off.
It's not about the quadruple happiness in that point, I reckon.
And interesting for New Zealand, as we watch it again on replay, you can see Driscoll finds the spot, goes right underneath it, and somehow
I think he thought that he dropped it.
I think so too.
Just with the look on his face, it looked like his arm was just there.
Yeah.
And it happened to still be there. Clenched the hands.
He was as surprised as we were.
Bit of a give go, caught the goal. What a great Saturday morning for Driscoll.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, Driscoll will be very happy with that. And talk about the read on that. Just got to the right spot, stood underneath it, and the reality of being someone who's not as tall as other people. You just got to get to the spot. You got to do your best. You got to stand your bit, get it, and then sometimes everybody else misses it.
That's right. That's right. It is 6-3, half at 8 for this game today. We are playing games to 15.
Yeah, 35 minutes in.
Well,
the pull barely even makes it. Probably doesn't make it over halfway.
So Hagen on that dump pass. Straight to Everest. Hagen looking for the upper line. Doesn't come off, but a good swing there from Prendergast. Alan Kidd. It's Jono Jones in the end zone. And that is a well-worked offensive point there for the Australians.
Yeah, solid grab from Alan the Kid there. And the bit of anything you can do, I can do better there, Gussie. Australians also come out in their first horo. And certainly don't exploit that deep space, but they didn't really have much given that pull.
No.
As we watch it again. Nice little movement here. And then a filling pass from the far player in that horo.
Well executed dump set.
Yeah, really nice.
And look at this quick release from Kidd.
Oh, squeezes it in.
Squeezes it in. Crams it in the cram hole.
That's it.
6-4.
So do you reckon we'll see that this poachy set again here, Gussie?
I'm going to make another bold claim. I think we're going to see a more traditional zone, more conventional zone here.
Interesting.
3-3-1, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
4-2-1.
It'll be exciting to see. You have to say the Australians at the moment, just on that help set, maybe getting a little bit caught looking at the players rather than keeping their eyes on the disc, because both of those initiating passes we've seen from the New Zealand team have come with Australian defenders with their back to the player. So, yeah, they may be wise to mix it up a little bit and see if they can't stuff New Zealand with something a little bit different.
A little bit different. Tommy Boyle is with the pull. And it looks a good one.
Hard chase coming down from the Australians. As number 49, Campbell, gets it. Another deep shot from the New Zealanders. That one is just unfortunately out of reach. It looked like hands too there, Gussie, for Fitzpatrick Cockram. A strong family name there.
Strong name.
I would love to see that boy's crest. And it looks like the New Zealand's gone with a huck and zone situation, because here they are in a cup. They heard you, Gussie.
I did say there'd be zone. I'm technically correct. As Boiler, he loves a bit of zone-o, this boy. Hits the gap, so does Nick Lely. And the two of them just doing a bit of give-go action, working it a little bit. Boyle and Lely running it at the moment. Hammer over the top. Tom Boyle, some of the nicest hammers in Australian Ultimate. Blake Nichols with the disc. He's got a few options. Back to Lely. Looking for a bit of a give-go here, Lely, with keys. Yeah, he looks for the backhand blade over the top. Boyle on the continuation. He's going to hammer it across. Oh, not his nicest hammer there, Tom Boyle.
And New Zealand say, shame on you if you fool me once, etc. Bullet to number 42.
Oh, good grab there.
Really solid
Whitlock.
grab to keep it alive.
Looking for that high release flick. It's beautiful.
Whitlock hits it.
Whitlock
Number
hits
3,
it.
Fitzpatrick Cockram.
Lily
Straight
did the high
back
release
to
flick
Whitlock.
again.
You've got to think that Australians got to be worried about that high release flick from the New Zealanders. They're knocking on the door now, New Zealand. They're going to send it back, though.
There's a travel call.
Fitzpatrick Cockram. Not a lot of movement upfield from the New Zealanders as the dump set gets initiated. Still looking nicely for those insides. Bit of a gust, but it's handled.
Whitlock. Watch for the high release flick.
Yeah, will it
It's
come
left hand
here?
high. Oh, he goes the hammer instead, and it comes off.
Hey, he's
Hey,
got
he's got
it.
them all.
He's got them all.
Whitlock showing off his arsenal of throws.
Yeah, really nice play from the New Zealanders. Very calm on their own end zone line. And yeah, the zone ends up being effective for them as the pass to the end zone is broken up for the Australians.
We are inching towards half. 7-4. New Zealand can get a break here. They'll come away with half at 8. Australians, of course, be doing everything in their power to work in a nice, clean offensive point like they had last time around, Max.
It's true. There's some nice movement there from both teams. That very first Australian offensive move was pretty nice. The backhand blade from Nicolelli, the hammer from
Whitlock.
Tommy Boyle.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry for the Australians.
I'm just so in love with Whitlock's throws. I can't get him off my mind.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. New Zealand still making some technical adjustments. Their coach giving them a little bit of advice, saying, hey, think about faking a bit. Fake some backhands, maybe fake some forehands, and then throw the opposite.
That is how faking works, Max. Should be a coach.
One day. Yeah, really underneath the flight path here in Sydney's beautiful inner west.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really beautiful. Solid centre of suburbia.
But enough of that, Max. Let's talk about the frisbee. Ball is received by Australia. I think it's just going to drift out for a brick. It's unfortunate. I think on a still day, that would have been perfect. Friend and foe, the wind out there.
A double-edged sword.
First cut coming from Hodgson to the break side, I think. That's done well. He's got a look deep that he hits. Bit of pace on it. Oh, that's all right. It's going to come off. Number 55, Lachlan Eichner. Coming away with the catch there from Hodgson's huck.
And coaches have to be happy with that one. A flawless offense from the Australians.
A quick, flawless offense. And suddenly, it's 7-5, Max.
It is suddenly 7-5. That inside just sat perfectly. The height was probably the threat there. If it got caught by the wind, it could have been in real trouble, but kept it nice and low and flat. His receiver had tons of space on that side.
Acres of space there for Eichner. Great deep movement.
So knocking on the door of half is New Zealand, but Australia will probably want to peg back a few more before we have the break. Certainly, psychologically, the difference between 8-5 and 8-6 can be fairly significant.
It's huge.
Even if it is just 1 point, Gussie.
That's right. Sometimes it's all you need, you know, for a bit of a kickstart. Now, we are going to see Australia coming out on defense, of course. I'm not going to embarrass myself again, Max, with a prediction. But here's a fact. Pat Graham is pulling it. And it's high and floaty. Might just drift out again for a brick. Oh, well received by Cron there.
Yeah, not the first pass Cron has
No.
managed to pick up from the sideline.
No, he didn't celebrate that one, though. Very casual. Must have known he was on camera. Whitlock with the disc. Now, what would you do if you're on the mark, Max?
I would need a high left hand, not a high right hand. Is probably the issue at the moment.
They've come out in the zone. The 1 point I haven't called it.
Here it is, Gussie, the one that you talked about.
New Zealand just working around the handlers at the moment. Not looking for those penetrative throws.
No, and Lily's floating on that side to try and find the break. Oh, enough pressure generated by the Australians. Lely in a rush to pick it up, but ends up
streaking through. Back to Lely. Got a few options on the break side there. Yes, and he's hit it. That's a great throw. 7-6, Max.
That's a break for the Australians.
7-6.
They keep the half alive.
New Zealand's still knocking on the door, but maybe Australia just
got
sneaking up behind them.
Got that little latch.
Yep.
On the inside, that one with the little chain.
Yep.
New Zealand kind of see through the door, but Australia's like, nah, can't come in just yet. To extend the metaphor.
It's a good analogy, Max.
We'll see if they play that zone again, I suppose.
I would. I'd play it again.
You know,
did well. It really stunted the downfield movement there, I think. Forced it back amongst the handlers, and enough pressure over time, as we know, causes turns.
Certainly, and I mean, a lot of the New Zealand has been running pretty crisp dump sets, you have to say. But certainly goals-wise, they've gotten off with a lot of deep shots that have been fairly damaging for the Australians. So I think playing a zone, making them throw a few more passes, especially with this unpredictable wind, good strategy.
Pretty good option.
Yes, just yeah. The Australians now making their final adjustments. It's a nice pull. It's in the field, fielded in their own end zones. Oh, big chase down from number 4, Prendergast.
They are playing that zone again. It's a bit of a pommy setup, 4-2-1. Forcing to the far sideline.
Oh, and once again, Whitlock's throws.
Can throw them high, can throw them low.
But they're on the sideline now. This is where the Australians want them. Whitlock back in that corner.
Not a lot of movement downfield, really.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Quite still there for New Zealand.
New Zealand is happy to wear the pressure here as they go further backwards. Whitlock might need to generate a bit of magic here.
I think we're now entering Callahan country, Max.
It's true.
New Zealand, cheeky keep goes there.
And there
nice
it is.
Big hammer over the top.
Whitlock looks for the game breaker. Gets it. The leading pass. Australians can't get there. Hold him up on the end zone line. Back to Whitlock. And all class.
Cool, calm and collected there from Whitlock.
Yeah, look, it had to happen, Gussie. Somebody needed to generate something that was a little bit special, and Whitlock more than provided.
That's right, it is half-time now, 8-6. Though as we said, 8-6 very different to 8-5, so the Australians won't be too disheartened, I don't think.
No. And it's a beautiful hammer in that cross field.
And well done on Rolf on the continuation as well. Once you break through that cup, you really want to keep it moving.
Yeah, 2 passes to get you 60 metres is a good feeling for a zone offensive line. Nice. So, takeaways from the first half, Gussie.
Look, it's been great play from both teams. I think a bit of a nervous start maybe. We've had some high turnover points. Some punting into the wind has created a few pack grabs. Had some great individual performances from the likes of Driscott and of course Whitlock from New Zealand. And look, it's too early to call this one, I reckon, Max. I reckon it's a game of 2 halves. Some more cliches.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
the score does sort of reflect the play roughly.
I suppose. I guess that's why you have a score.
Yes, the New Zealanders certainly, the dump sets have been very crisp. Although Australia has been executing decently as well. But you do get a sense that Australia probably needs some of their big boys to really start executing a little bit more flawlessly, a little bit more, to get a bit more razzle-dazzle in the team to maybe generate some bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, I'd like a bit of razzle-dazzle.
Always love a bit of razzle-dazzle. So as we go to half, we've got another game coming up at 10:30, Gussie, between Terra and
Kahu.
Kahu, that's it. Of course, we haven't even said Katipo.
Katipo.
Katipo? Is that
Katipo
correct?
boys.
Thank you very much.
I believe so.
Katipo, spiders, native New Zealand spider, I presume.
Based on the logo, I reckon that's a pretty safe bet. But hey, if we're wrong, tweet in, Mr. Max Howden. Let us know.
Like me on Instagram. Always trying to get the socials up.
Like me on Instagram.
So, interesting to see New Zealand again taking a seat at halftime. They're circled up, they're huddled, they're relaxed. I'm sure the part of the thinking is we don't want to burn ourselves out because, as you may have noticed, folks, New Zealand team's a little bit lighter on than the Australian team. Aussie's probably got about 20 boys running out there, whereas New Zealanders, just a squad of 16 could make it over across the ditch.
Across the ditch, yes.
Didn't we have a moratorium on New Zealand accents?
Oh, we did actually, yeah. Apologies. You'll hear no more of that. Or references to crowded house and whether or not they're really from New Zealand.
Oh, really? We're not going to do that?
Oh, we can do that, I suppose.
I was saving that for later.
Half-time of game 3, maybe.
Yeah,
We
when
do
the real crunch time.
We do have 8 games that you can watch over the weekend, of course.
And stream back from the comfort of your own home on Ultimate Australia's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. All Australia's national events, of course, now are streamed on Ultimate Australia by Mike Palmer and his wonderful team. So make sure you subscribe for all the latest updates.
If you want to keep your finger on the pulse of Australian Ultimate, subscribe.
And I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Also worth talking a little bit about fashion on the field here,
I think so.
Gussie.
Yeah.
Australians, of course, repping the new style of Australian uniform, provided by 5 Ultimate, the apparel sponsor of Ultimate Australia.
Yeah, I like it. They've also got, as you can see, the blue Daywalkers, which every single boy and girl were wearing when I arrived at the field this morning. It was a sea of blue, which is great to see. What are your thoughts on 3/4 length skins, Max?
What are my thoughts on 3/4 length skins?
Yeah.
I'm personally against them, but I respect everybody's right to make the fashion choices that they need to.
Okay.
I just think it's a bizarre choice of skin length. Why not the full length or the half length? I feel like that covers off pretty much all the options. No one's ever like, oh, my upper calf could really use a little bit more
Impression.
Yeah. I've never heard anybody say that.
I think from a fashion point of view, though, it can really work.
It's certainly, if you become known as 3/4 skins guy, could be your thing. Every Ultimate player above a certain level needs a thing.
Needs a thing, yeah.
And, you just look at former junior player Bucket Hat Bill Foreman,
Bucket Hat Bill.
Yeah. Some of the great up-and-coming players, really iconic. And a little bit of behind the scenes, you can see this is our commentary or setup.
But that's enough of that. Let's look at the players.
So it'll be Australia coming out on offense.
I'm excited for this second half, Max.
Me too, actually. It really sets the tone. Winning that first game, will really put the pressure on one team or another to come back for the second one. You can only lose one.
That's right. And they say it's incredibly difficult to beat the same team twice in sports.
It's true.
Only 3 matches here, so
Someone's got to lose twice.
yeah.
Nick Lely.
Yeah, he's going to punt that to Paddy G. Pat Graham and Whitlock, my 2 favourite players out there on the field. In a matchup. Oh! And Eichner sneaks through with the goal. Immediately called a goal there by Whitlock.
That is a clutch backup from Eichner there.
You can trust your teammates, Max, but there's also a lot of merit in not trusting your teammates and following the play, and I think that's what Eichner did there.
Very well said, Gussie. As we watch it again.
A lazier player would have given up about here, but Eichner stays with it.
Wow, and as we slow it down, just keeps that knee in bounds.
Nice, it's a tight call.
But Whitlock gives him the benefit of the doubt. And there you go. It wasn't quite the crisp offensive point we saw them score just before half, Gussie. But hey, got the job done.
Well, did have a an open undercut and a relatively open deep shot. Maybe just an execution thing. Was a bit of a kerfuffle there in the end zone.
It's true. Well, you would say probably 100% of the time if you see Patrick Graham going deep, you're probably going to hit it.
I'd say that. I'd throw it.
That's a rough statistic.
Tommy Boyle letting it rip. He's going to receive the pull. Here's Whitlock, who's underneath it.
It's a great pull. That is elite.
Oh.
And Whitlock lets it drop to the ground. Australia ready, set up in this junkie set. Whitlock surveys the field. Hits his open side dump. It's Nauman on the sideline.
The Australians just trading players.
Yeah, the Australians seem happy to let it move. Julio with the D.
Got plenty of options. Hits Boyle backwards. Yeah, good Boyle. That's a great throw from Tommy Boyle. A great cut from Jono Jones there.
And good D from the whole team. Really stuffed that New Zealand offense. And it was Hannah.
And Max, I'm no mathematician, but I believe that will make the score an even 8-8.
You are correct, Gussie. So we're back to evens. Easy as you like.
Start again. Nil all.
You know, we talked a lot about the difference between 8-5 and 8-6.
There's no huge difference between 8 and 8.
8-8. You mean 8 all and 8-7?
There,
Is that what you're trying to say? But the difference between evens and a lead, psychologically, again,
psychologically, yeah,
it's
greater.
Point. It's greater than just the sum of the numbers. You know.
It's a great point, Max. Some of the numbers is of course 16 now, where it was 15 in the last point. It's more maths for you.
Love it. The Aussies looking confident.
They are. They are. Different dynamic coming out of half, I think. Difficult one for the New Zealanders. To be up at half, instantly level at half, in the space of what feels like 2 minutes.
It just happened, didn't it?
Not many throws at all, really.
No, Irene number of throws. No more than really 4 that the Australians have had to complete. So the New Zealanders now, another opportunity on offense. Maybe a miscue there from the New Zealanders, but it's Whitlock who has it in the middle of the field. Australians coming out in the zone. Whitlock taking that anchor position.
Kid on the mark.
Oh, and a miscommunication. That's a tough one.
Australia.
Linklater there, just not seeing that Whitlock had striked up into the cup.
Australia on the doorstep. Hodgson walking to the disc with confidence. No dump.
And no players yet isolated. A few cuts coming in that open side.
Oh yes, I like the smackdown. Probably should have caught it, but I like the whack.
Again, these are both teams very enthusiastic about getting a block.
That was number 3.
Fitzpatrick Cockram.
Oh, it's a great throw through the cup.
Wow.
Oh, we're in Callahan country here. Set bubble. Oh.
And
I
just
think there's going to be some discussion there.
I believe they're going to probably discuss a simultaneous catch.
Which would, of course, go to the offense.
Offense would retain the disc, if that is the case. As we watch it again, just tips off the hands and then goes way, way up.
Hung up there for a while. Lovell has position. Oh, I think he's getting his hand on it first, but it is very difficult to tell.
Yeah, tough one. The glove as well definitely decreases the contrast. Yeah, you probably have to say that it looks like the Australian guy sort of got his hand to it first, but maybe New Zealand was a bit snappier on the closing of the hand.
Yeah, without the benefit of the instant replay, you see how it could be difficult for the players out there. I think maybe the best resolution is to send it back.
And certainly their agreement is, well, it's a bit unclear, to be perfectly honest.
I think they decided that the New Zealand player had it in his hand, and he's going to...
But, I mean, it's a catch, but could it be a Pyrrhic victory here? Just, they're deep, as you say, in Callahan country. Passports stamped.
Yeah, might win the battle but lose the war here as they do turn it over. Whitlock Unfortunately, just putting a little bit too much downward angle on that one.
So Australians will get another chance.
Same setup as before. Hodgson with the disc. Nichols in dump, and he's going to look for it up the line.
Nicely
Ooh, covered
there by Fitzpatrick Cockram. Travel, of course, hashtag not a stoppage.
It's really sucked the momentum out of it, hasn't it, Max?
Yes, and they still seem to still be discussing it. A violation called. But they'll give the Australians a chance on 0, set up, see if they can execute.
Looking for his dump quite early.
Oh, and it's
goes a nice around. Oh, he's done well. I'm not sure if that was his intended receiver there, Hodgson, but he has found Kidd in the end zone. Allen the Kid.
Yeah, it's a nice score there from the Kid. So Australia, we're back. And they now take the lead for the first time in the game, Gussie.
9-8.
It's a good time to be in the lead, but of course, not the crucial time to be in the lead.
No.
Which is at the end of the game.
Game starts with 15, so there's 6 points that the Australians need to get to close this one off. Won't be easy though. The wind is picking up a little bit, Max. My legs are getting a little bit cold.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact about Alan the Kid. He's actually competed at state and national level for long jump.
I can see that.
And certainly with that layout that we saw earlier.
Well, he did actually. He really sprung out, didn't he? Really
I wonder if he
exploded.
went front first when he was competing in long jump.
Well, you don't see it very often, but sometimes an unconventional technique is the best technique.
We're in a timeout, by the way, folks. New Zealand just trying to steady the ship a little bit here. Ooh. My headphones have only just come on, Gussie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now
They haven't been on the whole time?
No.
Oh.
I didn't really... Oh, and they've gone off again. But, yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, now I feel really in the commentary booth. Quality's going to improve from here, folks.
Why don't we take an opportunity, Max, during this timeout, which is about to end, so I really missed the boat there, to get to know some of the players.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do it. Well
maybe
Lachlan Eichner. He's been having a good game. We've been talking about him a bit. He's only been playing frisbee for 7 months, according to the documentation we have here.
Impressive. One of only 2 South Australians that we know of
That we're aware of.
on the team, and they'll be very happy. We've got a few South Australian boys in the on the technical side of this stream today, and they'll be excited to watch Adelaide play in the AFL Grand Final. Of course, remember you can watch the football later on repeat.
You can.
And just watch the frisbee live.
Well, my partner's actually liberated a TV that he's brought down to the fields to watch the game.
Yeah, so we can give you score updates if you're a massive AFL fan, but also want to support the boys and girls in the green and gold or in the black and white.
That's right. The AFL happens every year. This Trans-Tasman is a 2-year event, so
Biannual, if you will.
Biannual, sure.
So New Zealand here, and Australia packs the zone away.
Straight away, deep shot.
Oh, Boyle with the block.
With the disc. Lily looks under, immediately goes deep, and it's going to go.
Cap to cap.
It's a real zipper.
Oh, and the layout. He's actually tipped it up in the air, and the New Zealand player had to finish the job, but he did very well there, Lely.
Linehead Lely loves a layout. It's great alliterative opportunities there with Nick Lely.
Yeah, I love it.
But I might retire that one. Not use that again.
Oh, picked up again. Bootstraps.
That's a lawnmower.
Do your shoelaces while you're down there.
Whitaker sends it. Got a few options deep, but I think it's just going to drift over the top. Kylo. Ooh.
Oh, unfortunate
Drop
job
there
there
from
from
Kylo.
Kylo. Won't be happy with that one when he watches it on the replay.
No.
So it's Boyle again, and the Australians will come out in this diag again.
Not sure what Nick Lurley's doing, but he definitely doesn't have a defender on him at the moment. Oh, they're setting up in his zone.
Yes. So Australia pulls out of the diag.
Tom Boyle looking for a hammer opportunity, I reckon. I would be.
Gets a nice
So
little
he's-
dish off.
Tommy Butler. Straight back to Boyle. The Tommy B's working together. Unfortunately, can't quite get it through the cup. And it's Whitaker, the man who can throw it all, picking up the disc.
Oh, open side.
Oh. Just too much there from Whitaker. I reckon the winds played a factor in that one as well.
Absolutely. Lely wants a,
Oh, he's
a
punting
deep
it.
shot.
We could be on here, Max.
Just
Paddy
out.
Graham fields it on the sideline. He's a real talent, isn't he?
So it's Whitlock again. Centers it. Burns. Whitlock surveys the field. Doesn't like the unders that he sees.
There's a hammer. Unconventional
He
choice to Rolf in the end zone. He
wants
comes
to do it
down
all.
with it despite the pressure from Feng.
Wow.
He's
And
landed quite hard, unfortunately.
really wound up that that
He really did.
defensive
He
block.
likes the black.
He does.
He likes.
Him and a lot of other
Whacking that
players. Him and a lot of other players here, loving a good whack. But maybe that wind up actually impinged his ability to block it.
Potentially.
Wanted to put a bit too much force in it.
Rolf did well despite the pressure from Feng there.
That's true. So Rolf, nice little catch there.
Yeah.
Rolf,
He's a returning player, Rolf. Been playing for 2.5 years.
yep, from the Wellington Wildcats. Shout out to any Wildcats watching today. Yes, played in Poland, as you did, Gussie.
I sure did. Played against some of these New Zealand boys, actually. Played against Rolf. He was very good.
And still is.
And still is.
Mm.
That's right.
Don't even need to put it in past tense. Yes, and it was a nice nice throw from Whitlock. Whitlock, an Auckland-based player, been playing since 2013, so one of the more
Wow.
experienced, certainly coming through in his throws.
He's also a returning player.
And he is looking forward to, quote unquote, some sweet hucks and money grabs. And hey, that was a pretty
I reckon
sweet
it's-
huck.
I'm not sure we've seen many money grabs from him, but definitely some cheeky dishes.
Yeah, room for improvement. Nice pull there, the Australians.
Hagen Gibgo movement with Keys. Looks to Prendergast. Got Paddy Graham deep.
Probably a bit too deep.
Probably. I would
But-
have still done it. And Pat Graham makes one step under, goes deep straight away again. Whitlock! Ooh, is that a money
Was
grab? A money D, maybe? there from
Yeah,
Whitlock.
certainly not a grab.
No.
Certainly not a grab.
No, you're right. You're right.
But nice D, and it's a fun matchup, the Whitlock Graham matchup.
Let's get this tight defense, boys!
Whitlock back at it again. Inside. Nice big fakes there. Oh, heads up defense from Prendergast.
Oh, Hagen to pick it up. He's got Keys in the dump position. Looking for Nichols on that first movement, I think. Sorry, that's not Nichols, that's John O'Jones. They're all wearing the same hat, Max. Oh, Keys, that's a great throw! Hits Graham.
Yeah,
Whitlock,
nice
layout
bid.
D, yeah.
Nice bid. But could
One
not
apiece.
secure that particular money.
One apiece in the Graham Whitlock trophy.
Yeah, it's the memorial matchup. So, Australia, again, just holding on to their lead. As we just watch this just slip through the hands of Keys, but managed to keep his toes in. Waited nicely. New Zealand player doesn't
Oh,
see it.
He's a great bid, though.
Yeah. Classy, classy play. So, John O'Keys.
From Wollongong,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah, only been playing for a year. We've asked all the players for a little bit of experience. He's put that he lost the final to the Victorian boys at Youth Nats this year. So obviously he's still
stuck with him.
Flame is still burning there, which is
surprised he threw it to Pat Graham. Actually, he was from Victoria.
Probably took in that extra half second as a result.
Yeah.
But good to see these guys can put their state versus state rivalries behind them.
It's well done. Well done. Victorian Tom Boyle. The ball.
And again, the New Zealand players trying to adjust to this junky set. We'll see if the Australians transition here. Still holding it. Putting a lot of pressure on.
Oh,
wow.
Boyle and Kidd have been pierced there, the gap between them.
And it's Ford who has the disc now on the sideline. Gets it off to Fitzpatrick Cockram. They're knocking on the door again, the New Zealanders. But
travel call potentially there from Tom Boyle.
He's certainly got his eyes on the pivot points.
He does. Which is funny because he forgot his shoes.
Fitzpatrick Cockram hits the middle of the field.
Oh, Tommy Boyle's been done. He's been done twice.
Oh, but he recovers nicely.
Well. Oh, it's
wow.
a great fake.
Immaculate fakes, but it ended up faking himself out, probably Linklater.
Lovell picks it off the ground. Hits Boyle on that dump. And he's going to look deep. Yes, he is. One of the nicest flicks in the biz. Arguably had two receivers there. Could have taken it.
Yeah, just bounced off the hand, unfortunately. Well read.
Of Eichner.
Oh, and yeah.
The South Australian.
So New Zealand.
Mike Palmer gets his scarf out again. Any mention of South Australia.
And
Rolf with the disc.
They have a few deep shots coming, but a big under there. It's Fitzpatrick Cockram. Oh, and just misses that. Australia now pushing the pace a little bit, but there is a call.
Bit of a travel call, I think, on Hodgson.
Yeah, he really is the crowded house of this team, isn't he?
The far lap, the Pavlova.
Yeah. Big open under there for the New Zealanders. Oh, and he's off.
Fitzpatrick Cockram has some steps deep on Boyle, and it's going to go up. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Tommy Boyle's up against it.
Wow.
Oh, it's
and
just floated out.
The wind there really just took it.
The wind is on Team Australia, I think you'd have to say.
Yeah, for the moment.
For the moment. Good point, Max.
But it looked good out of the hand, you have to say. You'd be happy with that one. But, yeah, that just got put on a conveyor belt about a foot higher than anybody could reach it. And went all the way through the factory floor to the sideline, unfortunately.
New Zealand setting up in a zone. I think Australia a bit slow to recognise it. Cramp there. Oh, Tommy Boyle gets out a beautiful looking hammer. Bit of movement here from Lovell and Hodgson. Up to Nichols. Hodgson again. Oh, that's very well worked. All coming from that first hammer there from Tom Boyle to break open the field. It's a great movement from Lovell and Hodgson.
Yeah, coaches will be happy with that one. I mean, one of the things we've been seeing this Australian team, obviously they need, both teams really need a moment of brilliance to sort of crack it open when we're in those tight spots in the corner, when both teams are in those tight spots in the corner. But Australian doing a really good job, and New Zealand as well, actually, of once that pass comes off, which is just such a nice hammer, really hustling to continue, make sure the cup can't catch up, which they never end up doing.
A great shot there from Nichols as well into space. Are we sure that Nick Hodgson didn't represent his state in long jump there, Maths?
Yes, certainly true. Maybe triple jump. Hodgson, of course, good Canberra boy from the nation's capital.
Sure is.
Playing with Fishwick and Burley Griffins. He's just happy to be part of the future of Australian Ultimate.
He really is. That's what I'm getting from his response to some of our questions. Very happy to be here.
And of course was MVP at the 2017 Australian Youth Ultimate Championships. So technically the best player, best under-18 player in Australia, Gussie.
That's right. It is tradition for a Canberra handler to receive that MVP award. Of course, it has been Ryan Waters in the past. He's too old, 2017. Well done there from Whitlock to get it through the cup.
I'll go straight back to Whitlock. So you have to say here, New Zealand doing an okay job of finding this centre reset, but then nothing really emerging directly afterwards.
And you'd have to say, Max, at 11-9, I think it's a pretty crucial O point here for New Zealand.
Crucial is a word that I like to use in commentary, Gussie, so yes, crucial.
Crucial.
And Whitlock looks to get it back, and he does. Playing in a very tight space, New Zealand. Half-heartedly fakes a hammer.
Good crash there from the cup, making that throw very difficult.
Whitlock looks like he just wants to march it out the whole field at the moment.
He's happy to work it there with Ron Burns. The two of them just getting little dishes. It's not quite going to work this.
Oh, yeah, speak too soon, Gussie.
Ate my heart out. Oh, nice little over the top there. Burns and Whitlock.
Stretches it nicely there, the player coming through the middle. It's now Ford. Finds Whitlock again. And it's going to be Whitlock who gets it back right on the sideline. Pass counts succeeding probably 20 or 30 now.
But they're still gaining meters, Max.
That's true.
That's something different from the last few points we've seen them play.
But they are right up against the sideline now.
Yeah, you really want a nice opener.
Oh, it's a great bid from the Australian number 18. But New Zealand retains it.
Oh my goodness.
Bodies flying everywhere at the moment, but that leaves a gap for the New Zealanders.
How many little passes can they get through the cup, Max? How sustainable is that?
Well, we're about to find out, Gussie.
Oh. It is, of course, Fitzpatrick Cockram with the goal.
Yes. So maybe not fully sustainable, but novelty car horn. But the time cap has been called. So here we are. It's going to be, they're going to finish this point, I believe, presuming the time cap did just go between these points, and then we'll be adding one to the score. So it'll either be game to 12 or game to 11.
Yeah, it can't be game to 11.
I'd take that back. Sorry, game to 12 or game to 13. So New Zealand, pull to the Aussies. It's too much.
Too many Weet-Bix.
Do they have Weet-Bix in New Zealand?
I was just about to say that, actually.
I reckon they do.
I reckon they do.
I reckon they do.
I reckon it's an Anzac thing.
Yep, I agree with that. So
Tell you what they don't have, Crowder House.
and
Got
it's a zone.
Johnny Keys with it. And the former Wollongong looks to Tommy Butler. And Butler's going to... Hagen with a good, powerful cut through the zone. He's struggling now a little bit. Bit of a push pass maybe, I think.
Wow.
And the drop from Keys.
New Zealand Cup was probably about 3.01 metres away, putting a lot of pressure on those handlers.
Whitlock in the dump position.
Not a lot coming here for New Zealand, though.
Straight back. Whitlock with it now.
Going to look for the full 10 seconds before he hits Newman. Nice little Dylan Freechild move there, back up the sideline. Newman's looking, Whitlock's looking to finish it off. But, and no, he's going to throw it.
And Rolf with the catch. Takes it to 11s, Max.
Tons of space. And
oh,
there is a call. There's a stall
contested stall call. Great hand signals from Whitlock.
Yeah, making the advisors somewhat redundant.
Stalling 9, is it, Woody? Thank you. Coming in stalling 9, everyone.
They are just still discussing it. Fair enough. You want to have your opinions heard in this kind of situation.
Well, if you're playing along at home, feel free to go back to the point, get out a stopwatch and time along. You ever do that, Max?
Have I ever done that watching a game of Ultimate Frisbee? Yes.
Yeah, me too.
It's revealing, isn't it?
11.5 seconds we've
Wow.
heard from Mike Palmer.
It's a slope.
Incredibly specific. And wow.
So Whitlock actually got a bit of extra time. Oh, it's
a great
touched.
D. Is it a touch there from Eichner?
Hey, either way, the result is the Australians get the disc back. Another chance to put it in. New Zealand with this zone set up.
He's cramped down the corner. O'Hagan, bit of a release valve. Butler doing the same for him.
Butler shakes his head, not happy how close everybody is at the moment.
He's approaching a double team. Oh, so Hagan tries to rip a hammer.
Yeah, Hagan probably a bit inspired by Tommy Boyle potentially.
Yep.
But you know,
really damaged some low-flying birds there. Tommy Butler on the mark.
It's Nauman with the disc.
To Whitlock. Oh, that's potentially a
Wow.
foul there from Keys. Good commitment to the course, but I think he's got the player in that layout. Yep, uncontested foul. Coming in 0.
About a head height's difference between those players as well. So New Zealand rather on the downwind sideline. They'll probably want to get it off there, but of course Whitlock looks confident with it.
Rolf catches it. This time, no discussion. The goal's going to stand. Now it's 11s, Max.
And folks, this is it. Game to 12,
Game to
11
12.
all. We are on Universe Point in this very first of the Trans-Tasman Test Series.
A timeout called by Carlo. Smart move.
This is it. It's timeout called. Wow, Gussie, who would have thought this first game would be so close? You thought that? You didn't mention it.
I wasn't. I mean, I'm not sure.
You're not surprised, is that what you're saying?
They're two relatively even teams. I don't think it's... Yeah, it's great to see, but...
It is great to see.
I definitely think some people would have thought that it would have been close.
If you thought that this was going to be close, please let us know. YouTube comments or you can always tweet at Mr. Max Howden. Now, be interesting to see what kind of line Australia puts out. I think offensively you'll see Tommy out there. Probably see Nicholas Lely out there. You might want that deep shot in Graham.
Yeah. Now, Max, I'm going to use this opportunity to give you a bit of Trans-Tasman history. At the last Trans-Tasman tournament in New Zealand, the second game of the series, so Australia was up 1-0 at that stage. Second game of the series was also a Universe Point game. Australia came out on D in that case. Came away with it.
Ooh.
But the roles are reversed here. We're in a different country. We have a different team coming out on D. And also, very few of the same players are here. So it's a completely different game, Max.
Are you suggesting that potentially past performance is not indicative of future results, Gus?
Yes. However, I think it is good to acknowledge the past performances.
Interesting.
To position the viewer.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're well positioned, viewer, because we're about to break from this timeout.
A big thunder there from the Australians.
Yeah, they're exciting. They'll be bringing the noise. New Zealanders still that picture of calm, relax.
Where would you say the momentum is, Max? It's been ebbing and flowing throughout the whole game. I'd say New Zealand had it for the first half. Does Australia have it now, or is it kind of even?
Well, New Zealand just got a break to force this pass. It'll be interesting to see what defense they come out in. That zone was certainly effective at changing the momentum, but it may have been tied to the personnel they had on. Without Boyle and Lely running the show behind, or I should say Boyle and Lely have been doing an amazing job in that handler space. So you're a bit less likely maybe to throw a zone on a group like this, but what do you do if you're New Zealand?
Hard match defense.
Hey, but they've got Driscoll on the field, who's gotten a bunch of blocks this game.
Look out for Driscoll, number 9.
They've got Whitlock chasing down.
Boy with it. And is it? It's a bit poachy, hard to tell at this stage.
There's a deep player. They don't see him.
Lely gets up. Well, calm and composed on the disc. Hits O'Hagan. O'Hagan, it's a great penetrative throw. Over to Julio on the far sideline. Seth with it now. Back to Matt Hanna. Wants the hammer but doesn't throw it.
Cheeky grin on the face of Hannah.
Tommy Boyle punts it.
wow. Multiple hands touch the disc, but it's New Zealand who end up with the disc. They're going to have an opportunity. Whitlock, it's over on the other side of the field. Now number 20, McGowan. Another high backhand.
Oh, it's a zone look, Max.
They've
slow setting zone.
They've thrown the zone on. Whitlock now.
And he's going to do it.
Sending it to the end zone.
Where's Paddy G? Get him in there.
Oh, and does enough. There is a foul called.
Potential foul call here. I think there'll be some discussion.
I imagine this one will be one that gets discussed. Usually they do on Universe Point.
I'd discuss it.
Give it a discuss. As we watch it again on replay, there's a bit of contact on the way up. You can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that.
But it'll be interesting to see what their outcome is. It's a tough one because it did appear to go quite far over.
It did look quite far over.
Both.
Maybe Rolf represented his stayed in high jump though. You know, we just don't know.
That's true. Those are the kind of stats we don't have.
I believe it is a retracted foul. Thank you, Rob Swan, for the hand signals. Tommy Boyle walking to pick it up.
And based on the throw, probably a fair result given that all the players basically out of position. No one got a hand on it.
So Australia having another crack. Swings it over to Matt Hanna. Nick Lely. He's a man you want with the disc in these situations.
Two players from the New South Wales mixed.
Big hammer over the top. Hits Seth. Lovell, who has Paddy Graham, but doesn't do it. Good movement here from the Australians. Lely with it.
Bit of chaos from the New Zealanders. Australians looking to exploit it.
Lely.
Oh!
Okay,
Wow.
It's going to be a foul call again. And, you know, I reckon, Max, there's going to be some more discussion.
I think that's the one thing we can guarantee is a bit of discussion. It was a great bid, but did it bring up contact?
Layouts from both players.
It's a tough one to see.
I think Lovell's potentially getting a hand on it, and there's definitely contact.
One of those tough ones that it needed a change of direction from the Australian player, which is just it's going to make it murky in terms of the kind of contact foul calls. You can see the Australian player's going for a wide pass, doesn't quite get the width that he needs to. Change his direction here, and that then caused.
You got to from that play-by-play replay. I'm saying Lovell had an opportunity to catch it. It's whether or not the contact was the reason that he dropped it.
That's fair.
I think Lely maybe just a little bit cautious of the wind, bro. Really zipped it in.
Yep.
Didn't out.
Yeah, figure that pass had been maybe a metre further right, but
retracted foul call.
It's been retracted.
So New Zealand are going to have the disc.
It's a good result. It's great to see these players resolving their calls really effectively with the help of the game advisors. Wow, so New Zealand take two on their opportunity to score on this Universe Point in the first Trans-Tasman game between the Aussie Thunder and the Katipo. And New Zealand has looked good from these positions. Australians are forcing backhand.
Whitlock with it.
And that is it.
Rolf gets it.
Easy as you like. It's New Zealand who draws first blood in this Trans-Tasman series.
1-0.
The boys are up 1-0.
1-0, but of course it's best out of 3, Max. It's a series of 3 games.
That is true. 3 games will be played. You can watch again this afternoon. And there will be another game again streaming live through YouTube.
And hey, public service announcement. If you're in Sydney watching this, if you're in New South Wales, and you think, hey, that was a really good game of Frisbee, come down to Balmain Road Sports Fields. Yeah,
boys and girls would really appreciate your support. There's plenty of luminaries of Australian Ultimate on the sideline, and see Mike Neild and Danny Alexander.
Where?
Over on the sidelines.
Oh, there, yeah. Cool.
Gavin Moore.
This is a fun game. Who else?
You want to list all the people on the sideline? The point is, some great Australian Frisbee players. Get down here, support the boys and girls. And if you're watching at home, if you're stuck in some terrible other location that isn't the greatest city on earth, then please stay around for the 10:30 game